Investigating an incident involving Paterson police officers seen repeatedly punching a man on video.
Yeah, this happened back in December. Surveillance video shows two officers approached the man, who was 19 at the time, repeatedly assaulted him before placing him under arrest. The video was shared on social media by the victim and the Council on American Islamic Relations, who are calling for the cops to be fired. The victim says he suffered a concussion and head trauma. He also claims he reported the incident to the city's Internal Affairs Division 2 months ago, but hasn't heard back from them yet.
About a vicious beating of a teenager in New Jersey by cops in Paterson.
It happened in December, and now state and county prosecutors are investigating allegations that the young man was beaten without provocation.
Tonight, the alleged victim talking exclusively to us. Here's Eyewitness News reporter Michelle Charlesworth.
This is the surveillance video from December 14th from a business across the street in Paterson. The 19-year-old is walking. He has his hands in his pockets. Undercover police pull up, approach him. He says they hit him 7 to 8 times, body slam him to the ground, and continue to punch him.
Bruises on both sides of my face, right in near my eye. I did have pain in my jaw, like from trying to chew or even talking. And then just migraines from the concussion.
I'm not sure what their thinking was, but they certainly weren't doing any police work.
No cameras on the police.
Well, I think that's part of the problem. I think if the officers knew that they were being recorded, these things wouldn't happen.
Usually if you're attacked like that, you expect the officers to come and help you.
Osama says he had been on his way to the corner store before work.
They just followed me. He was like, "What you say?" I said, "I say nothing."
No official reaction from Paterson police. Osama says not only was he punched 7 to 8 times, thrown to the ground and arrested, once police took him to the hospital for treatment, and he explained who had hurt him, he was removed, and he says another police officer punched him again.
Trying to climb in, and that's when he punches me, throws me in the car, and then slams the door.
Osama was 19 when this happened to him. 6 days later, he turned 20. He's a worker. He was going to work early that morning. That's when he works, doing Amazon deliveries. He also goes to school full time. What does he study? Criminal justice. Osama made a formal complaint with Internal Affairs 2 days after the incident, and he himself is actually charged by police with assault, though the Attorney General's office is investigating all of what happened, and Osama is suing Paterson police. He says he wants reform.
For them to get,
conduct by Paterson police officers. They're accused of assaulting a 19-year-old man without provocation. CBS 2's Alice Gaynor reports.
Osama El-Saidi posted this security video on Instagram 2 months after he says 2 undercover Paterson police officers beat him, causing a head injury. We're slowing it down so you can see what happens.
They came out of the car. One of them came up to me and said, "What'd you say?" I told him I didn't say nothing. They just started punching me. And
it happened on December 14th around 12:30 a.m. in the area of 1245 Madison Avenue. El-Saidi says he was walking to his car to go to work as an Amazon delivery man. He says officers had been talking to someone else up the block.
that's when they came following me, asked me what did I say.
Why do you think they stopped you like that?
But I don't know.
We don't know what happened before this video starts, and there's no audio on this video. But according to a copy of the police report his lawyer has, El-Saidi, then 19 years old, walked toward these officers screaming profanities and acting belligerent, causing a disturbance to the residents around the surrounding area. Officers ignored him, it says. After a few moments, the Mr. El-Saidi then got closer to these officers and proceeded to get in an aggressive fighting stance. He was arrested and charged with aggravated assault on a police officer, resisting arrest, and disorderly conduct.
They clearly made this up for some reason. We don't know why, but they were clearly the aggressors here. They followed my client in their vehicle. They pulled up to him.
The Council on American Islamic Relations, or CAIR New Jersey, held a virtual news conference with El-Saidi.
Not terminating them and prosecuting them would be an insult to the residents of Paterson.
I mean, I do want, for them to be held accountable, not for them to get away with it.
We wanted to get the officer's side of the story, but Paterson police say the Passaic County Prosecutor's Office is investigating, as well as the state attorney general. As for the mayor, his office would only say he's grateful to the AG for taking swift action. In Paterson, Alice Gaynor, CBS 2 News.
El-Saidi and his lawyer say days after the incident, they filed a complaint with the Paterson Police Internal Affairs Department, but have not heard back.
We're on the street, whether we're on the clock or off the clock, because this is our community too.
20-year-old Osama Al-Saidi spent the last 2 months unsuccessfully seeking accountability from the Paterson, New Jersey police officers who he says beat him up back in December on Madison Avenue for no good reason. But everything changed Monday after he went public with surveillance video showing the incident.
I was lucky, I was able to get that video, to prove, to show what really happened that day.
That video a game changer in this alleged police brutality case. The Paterson Mayor's Office confirming Tuesday officers Kendry Teneo, Bishnu McKnight, and Kevin Patino, the one seen on video repeatedly punching Osama, were just placed on desk duty, pending new dual investigations by the Passaic County Prosecutor's Office and the New Jersey State Attorney General's Office.
A lot of times, if it's you against an officer's word, most of the time they always believe the officer.
Additionally, attorneys for another young man from Paterson, Roswood Hernandez, participated in a joint virtual news conference Tuesday to also accuse Officer Patino of using excessive force and lying about it in a separate incident late last year.
Roswood was beaten so badly that he couldn't see out of his left eye because it was swollen shut.
Hernandez acknowledges he did not file a complaint against Officer Patino, and there's no video of his encounter, so there's currently no way to prove the police lied about what happened. But we do have the police report detailing Osama Al-Saidi's encounter with Officer Patino, Teneo, and McKnight, and it does not describe what we see on the surveillance video, which the officers presumably did not know existed before they wrote up their report.
I understand the frustration.
Paterson Mayor Andre Saya says in addition to the ongoing investigations, he supports expanding the ongoing rollout of police body cams beyond uniformed patrol officers.
plainclothes is something we would look into as potentially the next phase of our body camera initiative.
And to be clear, plainclothes officers in Paterson are not part of the body cam rollout. That said, the 3 officers in this case on desk duty. And let's not forget that Osama al-Saidi is still going to go to court to try to get the criminal charges dismissed that the police have charged against him. We're live in Paterson, New Jersey tonight. J-Down. All it took was one surveillance video, which we aired Monday night, showing 2 Paterson police officers, Kendry Teneo on the left and Kevin Patino on the right, seen punching Osama al-Saidi. By Tuesday, another young man came forward with accusations of police brutality against Patino. Now, on Friday,
Officer Kendry Teneo came to my driver's side, very aggressive.
A third person, Desire Leak, with similar allegations against Teneo, accusing the plainclothes officer of assaulting her during a December traffic stop.
He did not ask me for license, registration, insurance. So what was the reason of getting out of the car? He asked me a third time to get out of the car, and I told him no. He then drawed his fist up and he punched me through my window at the left side of my face.
Leak does not have any video of her encounter with Officer Teneo, but similar to al-Saadi's case, her account of what happened is night and day from what appears in the criminal complaint, which accuses Leak of making terroristic threats and striking Paterson Officer Teneo in the face with a bladed fist. Civil trial attorney Diego Navas now represents both Osama al-Saidi and Desire Leak.
The officer writes that my client was the one who initiated physicality by throwing a punch from the seated position inside her vehicle up at the officer.
What made you decide to come forward now?
Well, someone has sent me Osama's article. I remember going through the same exact phase, and there was no reason for that to happen.
Paterson Mayor Andre Saya's office did not get back to us for comment in time for this report, but we did reach Officer Teneo's defense attorney, Pat Caserta, who tells us he was just retained and has not met with his client or analyzed the case documents. Caserta went on to say, quote, "I recognize the need for transparency. We welcome further investigation into the citizens' allegations. We are confident they will be investigated thoroughly and the truth will be revealed." To be clear, these 3 incidents taking place in November and December of last year. Caserta says he has yet to have any meaningful conversations with the 3 agencies involved: the county prosecutor's office, the state attorney general's office, and the U.S. Attorney's office in